Hey, what up everyone? I'm Sinnycool and this is Gems of War. And today we have a vault event going on and a new mythic. Lucy Thrax, I think it's called, something like that. Should I make that the thumbnail? Lucy Thrax or Cedric or Cindy, Hoagie, Freddy, Baz. Which one should I do? Hey, Mark, Sana, Anita, setting up the stream here. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, what do we got? What kind of pictures do I got here? Let's see what kind of pictures I got. Do I got Cedric sitting on the turlet? I do. I got Cedric on the turlet. Do I got the new mythic somewhere, maybe? Yeah. I think I'll do that one. I think I'll do the new mythic. Save. But yeah, we'll just be doing the vault event today, basically. Maybe some Underspire. I'm still doing epic and under. The my bombot stopped one-shotting recently, which is kind of interesting. That's why I got the flame cannon there. Because I feel like, you know, I mean, you could do 2 bombots and that would last quite a while. But the flame cannon picks up a color and coloration. Yeah, a little bit extra colors for you. And then if you summon something in that doesn't do any damage, at least you still have that flame cannon. So that's why I went with that. Alright, what should we do? Let's look at my inventory and see what we were starting at. I think I have 0 vault keys. Maybe I have 1 or something from who knows what. But we opened them all the other day. Ooh, yeah, I have 0. Nice. So we opened a bunch yesterday. Like, yesterday's stream was crazy. I didn't even know we were going to do the things that we did. We ended up opening 15,000 gem keys. Got a bunch of mythics doing that. We opened all my epic vault keys. Got a bunch of gems for doing that. And we opened some regular vault keys. Got some gems doing that. Got a new mythic from opening all those gem keys. Aldrich, I think his name is. It's one of those campaign pay mythics, I'm pretty sure. Intro. Chapter. Save. Alright, let's turn the monetization down, then I'll jump over to the chat, see what y'all are doing. Are you being good? Are you doing spitballs and pulling your chair out from under each other? Mark was about to sit down, and here comes Anita pulling his chair out. And he just flops on the ground. Throwing spitballs. I got my back turned, I'm at the board. What are y'all doing? Alright, let me jump over to the chat here. Getting into it. Getting into it. Getting into it. Can you guys name 5 magicians? You guys ever watch magic? I used to. I like when that dude like showed you how all the tricks were done. I know like the magicians probably hate it. That's how everything is though. Like wrestling now, they're all telling about how they do everything, and like magic. They did that a while ago where they told you how they do everything pretty much. I was watching like Chris Angel on some show, and he was like, "Name 5 magicians." I bet you can't. I can only name like 2. I could probably if I maybe name 5. Now I could because I looked it up. And one of them I was like, "Oh yeah, that guy." I was also looking at my moderators today. Shout out to Shinori and Sebastian Brazy. Do you guys remember those people? Who here remembers Shinori and Sebastian? It's been a long time, right? They were important people on the channel because they were moderators. So, been a while. I think they both quit the game though, for real. You see what happens when people quit the game. Even if they have the best intentions, you eventually stop watching. Alright, we got Mark, Sana, Anita. Sana with the gifted. Went to Dez the Enforcer. You know Dez. We've seen Dez before. We used to see Dez. We know Dez. Maybe Dez will come to the stream today, because that's how it works. Alright, let me get everything set up. Still doing that. I really tried. I went into my YouTube studio and I looked at defaults and I tried, because I said I would yesterday. I'm trying to, like, why wouldn't it let me do that? I think that's stupid. Like, there should be options where if you stream every day, you should be able to put on defaults, like, hey, I'm doing this game, and hey, I'm speaking English, and hey, I'm not an AI, and hey, these are some tags that I might use, and stuff like that. Like, how come? Don't let me do that. But it doesn't. I think it lets me do it for videos, like a little bit, like in my channel, but not live streams. And that's why I gotta sit here and make y'all wait. I guess there's another option. There might be another option. I might be able to, like, make this private until I get it sorted and then make it live, maybe? Maybe I should try that. Like, not making it public until I'm all the way ready, you know? It might be, that might work. I don't know. Alright. Dez is a busy man. Everybody's a busy man. Wormskull's a busy man too. They're getting busy. Glorfindale's busy. Faceless One's busy. We're all busy, but that's the, hey. If you're at this channel, usually you're a busy, smart person. So I get it. Let's see. Alright, 7-minute mark. Not too bad. Let's just put start. I'll just put start, because I don't even know what I'm going to talk about yet. Do we want to do the new Mythic first or the Vault event first? I'll speak about the new Mythic. New Mythic thoughts. New Mythic thoughts. New Mythic thoughts. What do you guys think about it? I pretty much already knew what it was going to be before it even came out, for real. And I know nobody ever wants to hear it. That's how it always is, but not every new Mythic's going to be good. You know, some of them have to be bad. It just... Not that this one's bad, but it's like super mid. It's not amazing. Like, there's nothing about it that makes it amazing. The only thing I can think is, like, if you take it maybe somewhere where there's all dragon opponents, but why not just use Stellarix? And if you see teams out there with using Stellarix, you can do that with anything. Like, you could put Wand and Stellarix and Leprechaun on any team and then just add the new Mythic. And if people are making those types of teams, like, duh. Like, you know? Like, you're not doing anything. You're not making a team. Like, anybody can think of that. You know what I mean? Like, the person coming to your video is not looking for Wand and Stellarix and the new Mythic with, like, a Leprechaun or a Thrall or a Essentia or something. Like, we all know you can put anything with the Wand and Stellarix, and it's okay, because you don't even need it. You could just use the Wand and Stellarix and win, no matter what the new Mythic's doing. The new Mythic could sit there and do nothing, and that's still an okay team, because Wand and Stellarix are awesome. So, I'm trying not to ever do that. Like, I'm never going to do Wand and Stellarix and whatever. Or, like, Stellarix and Takshaka, new Mythic or something. Like, those are, like, duh, obvious. But it doesn't make those teams better. Those teams make the Mythic a little bit better, but why not use something else that's way better than the new Mythic in that already good team? So I try not to do that. So you saw my video earlier, I hope. I put out the new Mythic video this morning. Woke up at 4:30 a.m. to get it out there. And, you know, I don't know. I wasn't impressed by it. Let's go check it out. Base rarity. It's called Lucy. Lucy's got some splaining to do. Lucy. Right here. 24 green, red, yellow, silver glade dragon. One thing I forgot to mention is that it's a silver glade mythic. But that is never a reason. Not never, but that shouldn't be your sole only reason to justify throwing all of your keys and then having not as many for the next good mythic. You know? That shouldn't be your only reason. Unless you've been, like, already thinking about it before you even knew that the new mythic was Silverglade, and you've been trying to get a mythic from Silverglade, maybe. Like, you are already, like, that, you can't, like, get the new mythic, and then that's your reason after the fact. Like, if you were already looking for a Silverglade mythic, and it just happened to line up, right? And then you're like, oh, cool, the next one's Silverglade, and I've been That's the only thing I'm missing to get my stat is the new mythic, or you know, a Silverglade mythic. Thinking that's cool, but most people like they'll get it and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, it's from Silverglade. That's why I got it." But that's just like you making yourself feel better as to why you blew all your keys on it, because it's not good. And now we're giving it the only reason. You know, you're pulling the only reason out of your back pocket to justify it. Does damage to all enemies, boosted by allied and enemy dragons, summon Christine X. So I compared this to several other dragons on my video. I compared it to Luna, the purple cosmic dragon. Luna, the purple cosmic dragon, does over 200 damage to all enemies, and then puts dragon gems up on the board and has a chance at an extra turn. And then has better traits too. Alright? So that's way better than this. And then I compared it to the Void Dragon, who has potential to loop, puts up purple, it boosts off of purple and blue, which is way better than boosting off of dragons. And it was even doing more damage. And it's not even a cosmic or a gem dragon, it's like a normal dragon. And it was doing like 10 to 20 more damage per enemy over Lucy. And then I compared it to a gem dragon. I brought out MYTHIC, and I'm like, alright, let's see, maybe it can beat a gem dragon. And no, the gem dragon was doing like 140 to all enemies, and while this thing was doing like 90 or 70 or, you know, at max, even if you take it, okay, so I was getting like plus 20 as my boost ratio, because you have 4 dragons times 5, that's 20. So even if you take it somewhere where every single thing in the fight is a dragon, that's only 20 more damage. So that's not even really a thing to say, for real, you know? So you're going to add another 20 damage. Well, Void Dragon's beating it by 40. You know, the Cosmic Dragon's beating it by 100 and something. And the Gem Dragon's beating it by like 50 something. So another 20 isn't going to help. Like, it might bring it even with like the Void Dragon, potentially, maybe. But the Void Dragon has potential to loop, so if they're doing the same damage, I'd rather use the Void Dragon than like just pass my whole turn over to the enemy team by casting this and not killing, and then the enemy gets a turn, and then we cast it again and it still doesn't kill, and then the enemy gets a turn, and then we cast it again and it still doesn't kill, and then the enemy gets a turn. It's like, come on, why are we using this thing? So even if you're getting it just because it's from Silverglade, you're never going to use it. But I tried it in a couple, like I was comparing it. I wasn't really trying to make the best team for it, but I was putting it in all dragon teams. I got Dragon Guard, Mesa Claws, MYTHIC. It's like the last one I tried. So these are all dragons. And it just doesn't... Like, why would you use this if you got... And Cosmic Dragons you get so early in the game. Like, it's not even like a thing where, yeah, but those are super powerful mythics that you get at the end of the game. No, these are the first mythics that you're going to get. And, yeah, they're powerful. I agree with that part. But they're also, like, some of the first mythics you're going to get. Like, literally. You know, if you don't get an Immortal first, you're going to get a Cosmic Dragon first. So, this, Lucy's more like an Immortal. Like, doing weak damage to all enemies. So if we throw Luna over here, I'll just show it on the stream too, in case you didn't watch the video. And we just go to wherever, a place, take it anywhere where you know that you won't one-shot, just so you can see how much damage things are doing. So if you can one-shot, you're going to use a faster team. You're not going to use this slow dragon. You're going to use like Stellarix or Tesla or Rowan or something that's easy to get up, that's easier to boost. But let's just check it out. Do we got 3 Nishas on? Yep, 3 Nishas. Galvania. Let's even go to Dragon's Claw. Let's even go to Dragon's Claw where we have dragon enemies. Let's go there. And still show that this thing is weak. This mythic is weak sauce. Has anybody come up with anything? Do we have any reasons as to why we're getting this? Alright, so just like first look here. 182 damage for Luna. Now we got the 161, and then we got the plus 21 boost ratio. So you got to add them together. So that's 182 damage for Luna. 182 damage, right? This is a Cosmic Dragon you can just get within, like, it'll be your first mythic you get in the game. You'll get one of these. You may not get Luna, you might get the green one, the brown one. They all do the same amount of damage, pretty much. So 182. How much you think Lucy does? If Luna does 182 damage per enemy, how much you think Lucy does? Na 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 na. Sana or Anita will be right back. Sana says, please wrestle that button. Sana says, I think it's a meh mythic, so I just pulled only one. Alex is here. How's it going, Alex? Can you show the new troop? Yeah, it's right here. Mark says, pulled one easy on my main account, but my mobile account didn't get it. So if your mobile account keeps, like, not getting new mythics, at some point you have to, like, save up keys. That way that never happens again. You know? So, you know what you're doing on your main... You know what you're doing altogether, Mark, but, you know, like, just to help other people out. If you're in the same situation as Mark, and you threw keys and you didn't get it, there has to be a point where you don't throw the keys. Like, that's just like, I went to kindergarten, I went to first grade, I went to second grade. You know, that's why I'm in, you know, third grade. If you're in kindergarten, you can't say, well, you know, Sinnycool's in third grade, how come I can't be in third grade? Well, you know what? You got to go to first grade, you got to go to second grade, and then you can go to third grade. So, you know, I already saved keys. There was a point in time where I was skipping new mythics and saving keys. I already did that. That's part of the process, though, so you can't skip. You can't skip a part of the process. Like early game, you're going to throw all your keys, which, hey, you throw all your keys except for when there's a new mythic, like in the early game, because you're looking for everything. You're not looking for the new mythic as a beginner. So you're like, you should have threw them all yesterday and not today. So as a beginner, you're throwing all your keys all the time except for your event keys and your shiny keys, because those are very specific ones you want to save to throw them at certain things. But like for your gem keys, your glory keys, your gold keys, your guild seals, as a beginner, you just throw them all the time because you need everything in the game. So, you know, you might as well throw all your keys all the time until a certain point. Until a certain point. Somewhere in the mid game or early end game, you stop doing that because you have so many of them now that when you throw keys, you're just getting the same crap over and over and over and over, and it's like it's not worth it anymore to throw all your keys all the time. Then you start saving your keys for situations like this. You get a new mythic, you know you don't have it, so if you were to get it, it would be something that you need, instead of like throwing keys every day all day and getting repeats of stuff. It's like, okay, here comes one I know I don't have, so now I can throw my keys and I'll get something I know I don't have. But you have to save keys for a while. Like, you have to skip like 5 or 6 new mythics. That's it. And then you get to get all of them for the rest of time. So we have to sacrifice. We have to sacrifice for like 3, 4, 5, something like that, new mythics. Hopefully it's not an Ironhawk or a Takshaka or a Ferrocafru, right? But if it's a Lucy or a whatever that dwarf was last month that we already forgot his name, or like a Virago or an Aguara, if it's one of those, skip it. Skip it. Build up a big stack of keys for when the Ferrocafru comes in, or the Ironhawk comes in, or the Takshaka comes in. That way you have tons of keys to get 3 of the new awesome mythic. Like every key you threw today for Lucy that you didn't get Lucy is now flushed down the toilet and is not going to go towards a Takshaka, an Ironhawk, or a Ferrocafru in the future. So, like, you know, if you want to get to high school, you got to go to elementary school. You can't skip elementary school just because Sinnycool's in high school. You know, like, hey mom, why do I have to go to school? You don't go to school. Well, mommy already went to school. Like, I already did that process. I already skipped mythics. I already skipped new mythics for 3, 4, 5 months. Build up my key stack, and then you get every new mythic from then on out. You just have to save. You just have to skip like 3 or 4 or 5 new mythics, and then you're going to get the rest of them for the rest of time. Like, it's a small sacrifice to make to then get every new mythic for the rest of time. And you're skipping stuff like this, stuff that's poopy anyway. You know, who cares if you don't get Lucy? Who cares if you don't get Aguara and Virago and stuff like that? You're never going to use it again anyway. But, yeah. So, how much damage do you think Lucy does here? 104. See, we're in a dragon. That's like the most it can do. You know, we got all dragons on our team, and they got all dragons on their team. So the boost ratio, the highest it's ever going to be is 40. So we have 104 damage. Luna has 182. 182, so almost 80 more damage a cast. And has a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by purple gems. And converts 5 purple gems to purple dragon gems. So it could explode downwards, it could get an extra turn. It's also got the 55. It's got 55% spell reduction. It gives 1 to all skill points to purple allies, matching purple. You don't even have to loop. You just have to match purple. It's got 30% skull reduction, so like every single one of its traits are good. This thing, if you cast it, no chance at an extra turn, like impossible. Never gonna get an extra turn. And then it summons something which doesn't go, like, you have to be losing, like something has to die for that to help, you know? And then the first trait's bad, second trait is okay, and third trait's okay. Like, Luna is so much better all the way around. Just in everything, every spot, this is better. And it's easy to get, too. Like, you just open a Dragon Egg. You just save up Dragonite for, like, a month or two. And let's see it in action here, so... Got the Mesa Claws doing damage, boosted by Dragon Allies, and creating a mix of red and purple for each Dragon Ally. I did not mean to fight this fight, because they're all so weak. I wanted to do like a harder fight. Let's do Explore 12 so they'll survive no matter what. Alright, back to it. And then you can put in Amythelos instead of Luna if you want to test that. Amythelos will still do more damage and have potential extra turn. You can put in Void Dragon. It'll have similar damage but with a chance of an extra turn, so I feel like it's better. Alright, so here we are again. This time we have 179 for this Luna. And it's 10%, there's a 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by purple gems. So, you know, it has that too. And then this thing's doing 99. So we got 179 here. 179 here, and we got not even breaking 100 here. We got 99. So let's get them up and cast them. Take the skulls, get a brown extra turn, cast the Mesa Claws, put some gems on the board. All right, so if we cast this, look at that now. It just goes up too. It's going up. We got 200 and whatever now. 215 plus 205. 205 plus, so like 235, is that right? No, that's wrong. 225? 225 damage? Yeah. This thing does 225 damage to all enemies and has a chance of an extra turn. Like a 13 purple on the board, 10% chance for an extra turn boosted by purple gems. Boom. Alright, this thing can't even finish them off. It has 103 damage. 103. The other one was doing like 200 and something. It was doing double. If you double 103, that's 206. And the Luna was doing double what the... You would have to cast this thing twice to even smell a Luna. It's not going to finish anything off, kill anything. It's like you might as well have another Cosmic Dragon there, or Stellarix, or Void Dragon, or... I don't know. I wonder if it even hits harder than, like, World Breaker. World Breaker's super old. I wonder if it hits harder than that. That'd be a good thing to test. I've already tested this dragon. And I know it's weaker than it. It's bussin', it's bussin', I'm bussin', it's bussin'. Somebody give me water or something. Happy Vault Weekend, Jets! Hey, Alex. Your dad plays gems and you play too? Nice. It's in the family. Keep it in the family. Allie's here. Hey, we got that world event done by Thursday. That was nice. I shot out 5 million in legendary tasks. Roxy, good luck to you. Do I stream on Twitch? No. Like, my PlayStation doesn't like Twitch, or else I would. I'm streaming on PlayStation, and I can't even watch Twitch on PlayStation, so I couldn't even imagine streaming it on here. But it's a good idea. I wish I could. One day when I get a better laptop, I might do that. Shout out to Juan with the Dala. Running out there with, I think, Sauna. Anything special if it's kingdom only? We'll have to check it out. Every dragon that comes out is not going to be better than Stella. Yeah, we might have to check it out. Like, see if Silverglade maybe it's the only Silverglade dragon or something. Now, let's compare it to some more dragons. Let's look at Silverglade because Ali asked. I like telling people like whether it's worth it or not to get the new Mythic. I know a lot of people don't listen, and that's fine. But if one person out there listens and they save their keys, then it's like good job me. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy. And I already seen it in the comments. Like Vu, for example, is not going after it, which is good. All right, so Amythelos. Amythelos is here. So why would you? Let's put them up against each other. And there's Christinax too. I wonder if Christinax does more damage than it. I wonder if Vanya does. That'd be funny if a legendary does. Alright, let's compare these two. They're from the same place, Silverglade. Now, you could get into a situation where you're not, you know, like, maybe you don't have Amythelos yet because you're getting Cosmic Dragons first like you should, but it's kind of funny that it's easier to get Amythelos than Lucy. Like, once this week is over, Lucy's going to be really hard to get. And Amythelos is easier to get. Don't pay attention to the name of the team. I always just forget to change the names. Alright, let's compare these. I already did it on my video, but we got 113 damage here. And we got 105 here. So the Gem Dragon does more damage. Like, this will never go up. Like, Amythelos, the damage might go up as we fight. But this will never go up. This will only go down, because you'll kill dragons. And then they'll... You know, they won't be there, and then the damage will go down. So it starts with its max damage, and then it goes down from there. The other dragons, like Amythelos and Luna, start with a certain amount of damage, and they pretty much go up from there. And they always start with more than Lucy, so they're never going to lose to Lucy. So this thing's doing 113, and this thing's doing 105. And that's with... I'm in Dragon's Claw. Like, I'm putting Lucy in the perfect situation to do the max damage that it can. And if you can't use a Mythic more than just in a very specific place, then it's probably not that good. If it's only useful in a very specific place or in a very specific restriction, then you can't say it's good. You know, you can say it as a reason as to why maybe an in-game player should get it. Like, oh, it's a Silverglade Mythic, and oh, you could use it when we have purple goats that do backflips as a restriction, you know? But that's only going to be every once in a while. All right, let's get them up. Alright, so now, look, it only goes up, right? So we're doing 157 damage now before we even cast it. This thing's still doing its 105. This thing has a chance at an extra turn. It puts purple up there. Now we have a purple extra turn because we casted Amythelos. If we had casted Lucy, we would not have an extra turn right here. And we have one now because of the other dragon. We gotta get up something. Let's try to get up. I need to get up the other dragon so I can cast it. I would just cast this right now, but this thing's doing... Ooh, it's going up a little bit because of its... I never mind about it going down. Like, I guess when you match 4, it's going to go back. It's going to go up, so I lied about that part. But it can go up or down. Like, the other dragon pretty much can only go up, right? Or, yeah, whatever. I think this one's always going to be more damage no matter what, right? Because it's a dragon too. So anything Lucy gains, this is also gaining. So it can, like, Lucy can never gain ground on Amythelos. It can only lose ground to it. And Amythelos almost killed everything by itself right there. Let's get up the other dragon. Could finish him off. So, yeah, you know, like any gem dragon, any cosmic dragon is going to be better than this. And they're easier to get than this. So that's the main point I wanted to say. Kind of curious if, you know, I wonder if like Vanya or... I really want to just compare it to other dragons, because that's the whole point. It's like there's already way better dragons in the game, but... I wonder if there's any, like, legendary dragons that hit harder. The World Breaker is the same colors as it. It's only 50 damage, though. So I guess it does more damage than... But the World Breaker blows up the entire board, you know? Like, that's a little bit better than a summon you don't need half the time. Dragonstone Guardian, 50. Well, that's better than a legendary. Magma Dragon. Wonder if Magma Dragon could hit harder. Got a True Dragon, True Damage Dragon. Great Worm, boosted by Skulls. Venoxia is definitely better. Here's another dragon that is better, a legendary dragon, because it does true damage. So it skips right past their armor. You don't have to worry about their armor. So you might as well, like, double that, make it 88. So it's... Venoxia is better, it's a legendary. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the new Mythic Dragon. If you're not an in-game player, you probably should skip and save your keys. You know, you can get Amythelos for your Silverglade Dragon. I don't know, it might be... Maybe it's the best non-gym or cosmic dragon. It might be the best... I wonder if it's the best mythic from Silverglade that's not a cosmic or gym dragon. I mean, I know you have to say like 50 things. Like, it's the best dragon that has purple armpits. But, maybe we can give it something here. Base rarity. Will of Nisha, 41 damage, so... 42, it's only one better. Steals 3 magic from all enemies. So this thing gains 12 magic every time it casts, which probably would make it stronger than Lucy. Like on its second cast, it's probably going to be stronger. And then the enemy team will be weaker because you stole all that magic from them. But I don't know. It's better than Queen Aurora, maybe. I think Will of Nisha would hit harder. I almost want to try it. But then we're not going to have all dragons on our team, so... That'll make Lucy hit not as hard. But anyway, I think I'm done talking about it. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. I think most people, in-game players, should get it because they're getting every new mythic anyway. We already paid our dues and saved keys and skipped new mythics. And then beginners should throw all their keys all the time, but when it's a new mythic week, if it's not a good new mythic, you should stop doing that for a week and then go back to it after that week. So, because if you're a beginner and you're throwing all your keys all the time and you happen to get a mythic and you get Lucy, and then you keep throwing your keys because you're throwing them all the time, and you roll another mythic, you're just going to get Lucy again. So it's like, if you get it, you got to at least stop. Like, don't get 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of them. You know, if you're a beginner and you're not going to, like, wait a week because this new mythic isn't good, and you're just going to keep throwing keys anyway, at least for me, please. Like, if you get Lucy, stop throwing keys, because you're just going to keep getting Lucy over and over and over, and it's not going to help anything. When you could have used those keys on a different week and get different mythics instead of keep getting Lucy. Because it's the only mythic available right now in the drop table is only Lucy. That's it. For a whole week. Some people don't know that. Like, it says it, but it says it in a way that makes it... It says it in a way that it's not really clear. It says, new mythic troop, Lucy Thrax. Exclusive to Glory Gem Guild and VIP chests for 1 week only. So to me, when it's saying exclusive, that kind of makes it sound like, ooh, it's an exclusive shirt that you definitely want to get because it's really cool. And it's only for 1 week only, you know, at the end there, for 1 week only, exclusive. Makes it sound like something desirable, when it really means it's the only mythic available in Glory Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for 1 week. They could they could take off exclusive and take off only, and put and put it the only on the front. Put the only mythic available in Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for 1 week. That'd be a better way to word it. Instead of exclusive. Exclusive to Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for 1 week only. You better get it now. That's how it reads to me. It's like, hurry, 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 you know? It's exclusive. You gotta get it. Better get it now before the sale's over. Sounds like some, like, home shopping network sales pitch or something like that. What it should say is the only mythic available to Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests for 1 week. But, you know, that fools, like, beginners into just, like, throwing key after key after key, and they keep getting loosey, and they're like, ooh, I got lucky, I got it again. Ooh, I got lucky, I got it again. Then before you know it, they're getting, like, 6 copies when you don't even need 2. So just be careful there. The devs love doing stuff like that where they love to waste your resources because they think it leads to you spending real money. Like, they're like, the more we're vague and the more we waste people's resources, the more they'll spend money. Like, that's what they're thinking. So don't get tricked. Yeah, it's like an immortal, right, Professor? Which immortals aren't good. We tested that too. Ossifer's good, but the rest of them are super weak. Tesla is better than immortals. I play on PS4, even though it doesn't really matter which one. There's a whole story with that. Like, I was going to get a PS5, but it was during COVID, and I couldn't find one, and then I had to get a PS4 because my old PS4 was burning up and wasn't working, so I had to get something so I could stream. I should have a PS5. If one was available when I had the money, I would have it, but since there wasn't, and all the chip shortages and stuff, like, I was lucky to get a PS4, and I'm going to get one here soon, I hope. Trey with the 3 running out there. Thank you so much. Remember when Venoxia sucked? Pepperidge Farm remembers. I don't know, man. I remember. I like it now, that's for sure. Did I used to say it sucked? Back when I didn't know better, I got 3 Megavore not realizing it was New Mythic Friday. Despite playing the game for years, I was such a noob not knowing what New Mythic Friday was a thing. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to, like, over-explain it right now. You knew something was up. Hey, at least you knew. Like, you figured it out. Instead of getting, like, 6 of them. Yeah. Definitely. Ooh, Allie got 2 in 1 chest. Yeah, not everyone has Tesla, but you can get Queen Beatrix, who's better than Immortals as well, and everybody has Queen Beatrix. And Rowan? I think Rowan's better than Immortals. Unless you're talking, like, once again, this new Mythic's awesome if there's 4 dragons on your team, and 4 dragons on their team, and there's a super tight restriction. Like, if we talk like that, then we can make anything good. You know, Immortals are good if you use them in the perfect PvP restriction right where they're supposed to be used, and they do double damage, and even then, it's like, when are you going to do that restriction, first of all? Second of all, how much are you doing that restriction? Like, for 5 fights so you can get gold marks? Is that it? Like, that's not a good reason to, like, say Immortals are good. So if you take an Immortal to... We already did this the other day, but... Like, if we just make a team... We already did this, but... Just to show... I'll do it against Queen Beatrix this time. How about that? Or Venoxia or anything. Like, what's the best, like... What's the hardest hitting thing you can get from the Underworld? Probably... I guess Queen Beatrix, since it does true damage. I know, like, all the stuff I show, like, some people are annoyed because they already got the Immortals and they already got the new Mythic and they don't really want to hear it, but... Like, Glacia was the one people mentioned. And just put the wand on, just, like, everything to get it up so we can compare them. And then we'll just do, like, Leprechaun and Thrall. And we'll make the teams exactly the same. We'll get to the Vault event after this. Leprechaun. Where you at, Leppy? Right there. We're just doing everything to get this troop up. And then our banner, we're going to make purple. Purple and what? Blue? Purple, blue, minus yellow. Purple, blue, minus red, blue, or green. No? Yeah, whatever. And then class, we'll do Archmagus. And we'll keep everything the same, except for we're going to trade out something for Glacia. So let's see how much damage this does here. Like, we're not putting it in its perfect situation. This will tell you if something's good or not. If you have to take it somewhere super specific that you're only doing 5 fights every once in a while, then it's probably not good. Alright, she's up. Let's see how much damage she does. Doing 44 true damage to 5 random enemies. Plus 3, so I guess 47. Let's match this. 47. One. We got cast it once. We should count all the casts, because another problem with Immortals is how much mana cost they are. But in this fight, we'll just count how many damage casts it has to do. Because that's the other problem, is how much mana they cost. Like, we're sitting here getting them up for an hour. Casting Thrall and Wand and Leprechaun. Alright, here's 2. Probably not going to work unless I count every cast. Alright, here's 3. So I guess it takes 3. Last time it took 4. That took 3 casts. We did it against Tesla the other day. Tesla takes 2 casts. But you said like it's hard to get Tesla, right? But it's also hard to get Glacia now, because you're not guaranteed to get her. I mean, it's easier to get her than Tesla, though. But, I don't know. Let's do Queen Beatrix. I need to count, like, all the casts, though, because this isn't going to be very impressive and prove my point. Because, I don't know. We'll see. If it does the same, if it takes 3 casts with Queen Beatrix, then Beatrix is better, because she only 16 mana cost. And she can potentially loop and gets an extra turn and all that stuff, so... Even if it matches it, it's better. We should probably change... we gotta keep everything. Let's just keep everything the same. See how many casts Beatrix takes to kill the same exact fight. Pretty much. Oops, we're missing here. Dang it. Come on, Beatrix, get up. Alright, here comes 1. Comes 2. Might be more, huh? Because of scatter damage. I forgot it was scatter damage. Well, it's gonna be like the amount of casts, too. Alright, so yeah, we had to do 5, I think. Alright, we'll do it different this time. Hold on. So, Glacia hits harder than Beatrix. But this time, let's count how many casts, like, total. Like, how many moves, like, in the matchup, how many moves we have to make. Because that's how long it takes, for real. Like, how many moves you have to do in the fight. Because I bet you it's similar, if nothing else. Alright, so here's 1. We'll count the enemies, too, so that's 2. Alright, here's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Well, 9, I guess, because they did 2 turns. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. And we're dying, too. 15, 16, 17. Dang. Maybe I'm not proving nothing. 18. 19? Okay. So that was 19. That's kind of... Maybe Glacia's better than Queen Beatrix for killing stuff. We'll see, though. But the main point was it being... Like, Tesla took 2 casts to kill something, and Glacia took 4 the last time we tested it. What am I looking for? Immortal Glacia. It's always fun to test stuff, because then you figure stuff out. Even if you're wrong. Alright, should we count extra turns? I don't know if I'm doing this right. Because, like, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She got up faster this time. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's the same. I just counted every turn on both of them. So, I mean, that kind of proved my point. That's good. So this 30 mana cost Immortal Mythic took the same amount of turns and time that Queen Beatrix took to kill Explorer 12. Both had 19 whatever moves. Of course, I don't know if that's like, it's not perfect because, you know, extra turns and what the enemy's doing, and it's not a perfect demonstration, but it's very close. Even if Glacia should have won, whatever. It's like, it's that close to a Queen Beatrix, an Underworld legendary you can get super easy, super early in the game. It's supposed to be some crazy Immortal Mythic, and it's barely, if anything, it's this slightly better than Queen Beatrix. Like, what's all the hoopla about then? But yeah, if you take it to that very specific PvP restriction that you're never gonna do, like when are we gonna use Glacia for real? Let's go see if it's even like right now. Would I use Glacia right now? What is she? Winter's Reach. So over here's Winter's Reach. I would not do it because it's silver marks, not gold marks. So the reasons you would actually do a restriction: number one, your Citadel Wars. So we got Zhejian, and we got Beast. So that's not Winter's Reach, so that's not a reason to use her. We got Blood Frenzy in case you're like going after lots of VP or something. We got Green, and we got Elemental, which isn't Winter's Reach. To just farm VP easily, which I would do like purple or something, or a color, which isn't Winter's Reach. You know, like when are you gonna, like, when would you go out of your way to choose Winter's Reach? That way Glacia could do, like, what's the point of doing, when you could do Stellarix or Tesla or some purple team, or, like, what's the point of doing Glacia? This correlates with the new Dragon Mythic too, like, when would you do the new Dragon Mythic? Like, is there a dragon restriction right now? No. So, there's not even a place for it right now. There's no dragon restriction at the moment for me. So why would I use the new Mythic? Even though there is one for Glacia, I still wouldn't use Glacia. Because why am I going out of my way to do Winter's Reach when I can do purple, or a Blood Frenzy, or my Citadel Wars fights, or some other color restriction that's probably faster and better, or Central Spire, and just use whatever I want? Like, why am I going to go out of my way to use an Immortal in its very specific location? I mean, I guess if you use all your Immortals, and like you're using the Adania one in green, and the Garyon one in brown, and but it's like, green you can use Queen Beatrix, brown you can use CT and High King Iron Gut and Stellarix, and you can use Stellarix in all of them. So if you have Stellarix, then the Immortals are really doo-doo. Anyway, that's how I think about troops. I'm like, is it gonna be good? Like, am I gonna choose it if I can use everything else? And for most Immortals, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna choose it if I can use everything else. And for this new Mythic Dragon, if I can use everything else in the game, then I'm probably not gonna use it. And then I think about beginners. What do beginners have? They got Rowan, they got Queen Beatrix, they got Gobtruffle and Guardians, and like Queen Beatrix we just showed can win a a fight in the same amount of turns as a Glacia. Probably can win a fight faster than the new dragon, I bet. But yeah, let's do the vault event now. Get out of PvP. No, what am I doing? Get out of there. And that's another thing, the same thing with like building up your stats and stuff. Like count how many turns it takes, like how many moves you have to do. Like if you're gonna sit there and build up magic, like you're gonna get extra turns, extra turns, extra turns, extra turns, extra turns, extra turns, make your whatever troop hit really hard and then cast it and win in one shot. You still gotta count like all those extra turns. Like how many times did you click a button to make it that powerful to then cast it once to kill all the enemies? Like it's probably not faster than just casting Luna twice or casting Tesla twice. You know? Like, even just take a stopwatch. Like, start it at the beginning of your fight, end it at the end of the fight, and then compare it to Tesla or Stellarix or Queen Beatrix or Rowan and see if it's actually good or not. Like, don't just think it's better. Don't do the recency bias thing or, like, take somebody else's word for it. Use a timer. You don't even have to take my word for it. Just take your phone out, hit the stopwatch, you know, at the start of the fight, and then hit the end of the stopwatch at the end of the fight, and then take whatever other troop that you've been using, like Tesla or Stellarix or Queen Beatrix or Rowan, and then do the same thing and see, is this new troop actually better or not? Like, which one gets the fight done quicker? And if it's not faster, then why are you using it? Unless you just like, you know, some people just like using, like, they think it's pretty, or they like treasure hunt, or straddle the toilet backwards. I don't know. Alright, so vault event. Anita with the gift. It went to Angie J70. Thank you so much, Anita. Alright, what have y'all been saying? Jet says cast fireball at button. Oops, broke it. Boo says I noticed Dragon Knight Gnome is like 36 armor plus HP. How can you guys one-shot it with Ironhawk team? Yeah, you don't. It's the one gnome that you can't. But you're happy to see it. You know what I mean? Like, it's oh well. Like, oops, the Dragon Knight Gnome survived. But yay, I got a Dragon Knight Gnome. You know what I mean? And then the Dragon Knight Gnome's so rare, it only pops up like once every however many battles. So you don't want to make a whole team revolving around being able to one-shot the Dragon Knight Gnome that only pops up here and there. Because then you're making every other fight slower. So the Dragon Knight Gnome's not popping up for like 9 to 20 fights in a row. And we're just killing everything in one shot for 10 to 20 fights in a row. And then here comes the Dragon Knight Gnome and it survives. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, just be happy that you got a Dragon Knight Gnome. We're not going to build a whole new team that's slower, you know, 99% of the time just to one-shot the Dragon Knight Gnome, you know? But you're right, it is a good observation, Vu. Yoke is here. Tyrion says, I feel like there are 3 to 5 immortals I use more frequently, but most are meh. I agree. I agree with the meh part for sure. Alex says, Beatrix, Venoxia, Forest Troll, and Prismatic Orb. Yeah! Roxy sent Mark a message on Discord. Alex says, is this a good team? No, I was just showing an example. If you can't get it up in an hour, then give up and go to bed. This never happens, Tyrion. It never happens. I don't know. It's too much. There's too much going on, man. Morgan says Beatrix is great because she scales up as the match progresses and she produces her own mana and she can loot, plus she can cleanse her whole team, right? There's many reasons. Like, I was just comparing, like, the speed. Like, Beatrix also has Royal Honey and a 40% chance for an extra turn and throws up her own color on the board. Like, the new dragon does none of that, and Glacia does none of that. Mark says Marky Mark loves his PvP and don't even think I will use the new Mythic in the Dragon Kingdom. Yeah. Professor says, I wonder if the Purple Alliance purposely votes so you can't use some of the better immortals. Maybe. Vu says they might be useless late game, but in the early mid game when you don't have those Tesla Stellarix, the Glacia could change something, maybe. Yeah, I think if you get a good immortal early in the game, you should definitely use it. But remember to, like, compare it, make sure you're just not using it because you know, I got an immortal and it sounds cool. Like, make sure it's actually faster. Like, use your stopwatch and Allie says I straddle the toilet backwards when I treasure hunt. Chaz said I got one copy on my main. I'll play around with it and see what I can come up with. That's cool, man. Let me know. Glacia's your strongest immortal? Yeah, because it was the immortal of the season last season, so it's probably everybody's strongest immortal right now, other than Ossifer. Ossifer's just good out the box. Beg for mercy, what up? Best troop ever, Juan, Stella, Lucy, and Leprechaun. I already made that joke. Yeah! Let's go. Alright. I did it for you, Beg. Alright, so Vault event. Putting a chapter. Wow, I ranted about... Wow, I ranted for a while. 50 minutes. About why you shouldn't... Well, you shouldn't put, like, too much faith in the new Mythic, if nothing else. And you shouldn't put too much faith in Immortals, either. Like, recency bias is a real thing. And it gets lots of views, too. So people are gonna shade it. You know, they're gonna take advantage of the recency bias. So just be wary, is all. Be wary about recency bias. Alright, so Gnome event. You know how it goes. We have these all the time. You're going to use your fastest team in the weakest fights to kill the enemies as quickly as possible. Gnomes are appearing more often right now, and they're dropping more vault keys right now. So you just want to kill enemies as quickly as you can and explore one. See the next set of 4 enemies as soon as possible. See the next 4 set of enemies as soon as possible. See the next 4 set of enemies as soon as possible. That gives you more chances at getting gnomes. It gives you more chances at getting verses. And then you run gaps. Running gaps is the thing to do. Yeah. So let's get started here. Let me see if you know, the places we usually go are either Senna Mirage or Wild Plains. So I got to make sure those are still good first. So we already looked at my inventory. That's what I do always first. I'll be like, okay, how many vault keys am I starting with? We have 0, so that'll be easy. I only have 1 verse though. That's pretty bad. So I need Freddy, the green one. I need Freddy and I need Cindy, but I need Freddy the worst. So I'm starting with 1 gap. That's not great. You usually want to start with like 2 or 3 at least. But I also don't like when people have 150,000 gaps either. So you want to have like none and you don't want to have like 1,000. You want to have like 5 or something, or 10 or something. That's what I think. The sweet spot for gaps is like something like 10 or 5 or 15 or something like that. Not 50 million and not 0. But I have 1 gap and I have 0 vault keys, 0 epics. I also kind of like to look at my gems, because if you don't buy every offer that pops up, you can really gain some couple thousand gems while you're doing this too. Some gold and souls too. So I got like almost 27,000 gems. And then we got to figure out where are we going to do this. So let's see what has extra stats this week. Adana mechs. So we want to see, are there any mechs in Senna Mirage or Wild Plains? Because those, we know those work. But there's a different boost every week, and mechs are getting boosted, so we got to check it out. Alright, so go to collection. I should have done this yesterday, like as part of my vault prep, but I didn't, so we're doing it right now. Wild Plains. And then we see, are there any mechs? They do have 1 Mechator. Alright, what about Senna Mirage? Why'd I go all the way out? Senna Mirage have any mechs? If they do, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Because these are the only 2 that I really know. Maybe I'll try one of y'all's for the first time ever. Senna Mirage mechs. The reason you do this is because if they have more stats, then you can't do your Ironhawk thing. If you're not using Ironhawk, then this doesn't really matter. But if you're using double Ironhawk or triple Ironhawk, you want to check on this for sure. Alright, so Senna Mirage has 0 mechs, so we're good in Senna Mirage. I'm telling y'all, you can almost always do either Senna Mirage or Wild Plains. There's no need to look anywhere else. It's right here. They're right here next to each other. So, really no need to look anywhere else usually. I don't think I've ever had a vault event where one of the 2 didn't work. Because they're so different from each other that if one of them has a mech, the other one won't have a mech. If one of them has undead, the other one won't have undead, you know? Like, it feels like they're so different that you can always count on one of the 2 being good to go. Alright, you do Explore 1. And you do your Ironhawks if you have them. If you don't have Iron Hawks, just do your Rowan team. You know, like Tyrion said the other day, I don't know the person except for like me. Who would have 3 Caffrews. You know, and use a weapon with the 3 Caffrews. That seems like a thing that barely anybody... There's like, that person isn't really out there. And if they are, they're very rare. Because most people that have triple Caffrey probably have most of their classes at 100. So they don't even need to do that. They're going to use Ironhawk. Or they're valuing vault keys and gems higher than they're valuing like getting classes to 100, which would be me. I only have 1 class left to do, so I'm not like super worried about getting it done super fast or anything. So I'll probably still do Ironhawk this week. But that's another option, just to put it out there. Then there's Moon Mage. The Moon Mage team with Doomsayer is pretty good. It's like at least as fast as Rowan and kind of a change of pace if you're leveling Doomsayer. So, but most people should use Ironhawks if they got them. And we want to see our shards are close to the boss chest, so we don't want to run a gap right now. Plus, I need verses anyway. So I'm going to do triple Ironhawk. First, I'm going to save this. I'm going to copy it, because I'm going to be using that team a lot. So I want to be able to just paste it in. I don't want to have to go searching for a Sister Superior. So I copied that team for my gaps. Then I'm going to go get Ironhawk. My 3rd Ironhawk. Alright, so this will be for hunting verses. So to get the gaps. You also want to make sure you don't have any weird metals on, because that'll add a little animation to every fight, which I don't. Like, Nishas are fine, Seasons are fine. I think it's like Orpheus and Anu that add a little animation. Something like that. But Nishas are fine. If you want to do Nishas or like Guard or Seasons. Something that just gives stats doesn't really add an animation. But if you're doing... If Orpheus and Anu, like it pops up and says Orpheus and Anu and it adds... If you do Orpheus and Anu, it's going to add a lot of time to every fight. So just make sure you're doing like Nisha or Guard or Seasons. Just something that's stats. Because then it won't pop up. Just a little tip. I don't know if I say enough. It doesn't really matter too much. It's like min-maxing, but... Remember to do your class weapons. They still count even though you're not using your hero. If you don't have every single class weapon, you can get credit towards them just by equipping the class even when you're not using your hero. And yeah, let's get going here. I need Freddy. Freddy, where are you? But nothing can be faster than this. I don't care. No recency bias. Bullcrap. How can you get faster than pushing 1 button? You can't. I don't think anything will ever beat this. You have to push 1 button no matter what, right? No matter what you're doing. So what can be faster than immediately pushing 1 button? There isn't anything faster. And if it involves a bunch of explosions, it's definitely not faster. Because the board has to explode, and that takes time. The board does not have to explode, and it doesn't take any time. So, like, triple Caffrey is definitely not faster than this. And you can't use triple Caffrey in like, I don't know. You're going to use Ironhawks for gaps, right? So why would you... I'd rather have 3 Ironhawks than 3 Caffreys. Caffrey, like, the whole board, like, the cool thing about Caffrey is how much the board explodes, right? But that takes time. That takes time. Every single fight, the whole board's going to explode. And cascade and stuff. And that's going to add... You know, however much time to every single fight. Like 5 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever you want to say. And we're doing at least 6 fights a minute. Whatever, you know. So you got to times that by 6, however many. If it takes an extra 3 seconds, and then, you know, every minute, every 3 minutes you're losing out on like a minute or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I'm saying. So you're losing 3 seconds every fight, which I'm just rounding. And then there's 6 fights a minute. So you're losing 18 seconds a minute. And then you times that by 10. It's 180 seconds. And then you do 270 seconds, right? And that's like how much time it's costing you using Caffrey. So what is that, like 3 minutes? Something like that. So you're missing out on like 3 whole minutes of your gap by using Caffrey. Like, you're 3 minutes slower. Even if it's like 1 second, why do that? It's still 6 seconds of fight. You're still missing out on at least a minute of gap. So there's no, like, just use, if you're the person out there using triple Caffrey, you're just slowing yourself down, and it's whatever. Like, Darwin. Recency bias Darwin award. Yeah. Right, I mean, right, yeah. Like, I mean, I guess you could get... You can't count on that, though, for sure. And it's not going to make up for every... Like, that's going to happen 1 out of 100 or something. And that won't make up for the being slower every single fight. That's just like making a team to one-shot the Dragonite Gnome that pops up every once in a while. Be like relying on a crazy cascade that kills all the enemies. Dragzum's another good one. I gotta write that down then. I've just never had the need to go outside of Cinemirage or... Like, if something's working for me, and that's the type of dude I am, though, right? That doesn't make for a great, like, viral view farming type of YouTuber. Where I'm not gonna just, like, act like something different is better. Just because it's different. Like, if something's working for me, if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know? It's just the way I am. So Ironhawks is not broke, so I'm not gonna try to fix it. And then even if you think something's faster, just time it. Like, test it yourself. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Like, never even take my word for it. Like, use a timer. Figure it out on your own if you don't believe me. Like, no one's asking you to always trust me 100%. Like, I've got stuff wrong before, but I don't understand, and there's no possible way something that's exploding the entire board every single turn is faster than not exploding the board every single turn. Like, we're doing the same thing here. We're killing in one shot. The only difference is that Caffrey has to blow up the entire board every single fight. So that adds time to it's just like using Greed instead of Sister Superior. Greed is worse because Greed explodes a gem every single fight, which adds... You're going to lose fights. You're going to gain, like, a tiny bit of gold, but you're going to miss out on, like, a minute's worth of fights at least. Which, you know, you get 20 vault keys per gap. They're 15 minutes long, so you're getting a little bit over a key per minute. So if you're using Greed, you're missing out on at least like 1 or 2 vault keys every single gap you do. And you're gaining like 25 gold a fight or something. Or whatever it is. Which I would rather have vault keys and get some gems and get some keys and get some orbs and then like a tiny bit of extra gold. But I used to do that. I used to do Greed, so I get the allure of it. I used to do it. You could go back 2 years and watch me use Greed, but once I figure out, like, I'm not that stubborn. Like, somebody proves to me that something's better, I switch to it. That's why I'm not sitting here still using, like, Glaceon Bloodhammer or something. I'm not sitting here still using Fomag. I switch. Like, if somebody shows me that something's better, I'm switching. Like, I'm on Stellarix. I'm on Stellarix, the Ruby weapon, you know. That's the meta right now. Ironhawk, Stellarix, Ruby weapon, Tesla. Those are the metas. It's hard to keep up with the chat while I'm doing a gap. Or I'm not doing a gap, so never mind. What am I doing? I'm acting like I am, though. Best troop ever won, Stella, Lucy, and Leprechaun. The third trait of that dragon, Chad? I don't know, man. Because you have to sit there, like I said, you'd have to sit there and loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. Just count your turns. Like, say somebody showed you a team where they utilized the third trait of the new dragon. Just use a stopwatch and see if it's actually better or not. Because you have to loop, which takes time, when you could just be casting another dragon that does more damage. Like, all the time it takes to make that dragon hit as hard as, like, a Luna, like, it's going to take a while because you're only getting, like, 2 magic, 4 magic, so you're going to have to cast, you're going to have to loop, you're going to have to loop for, like, 25 turns or something, like, 25 casts, I don't know. Let's say it's half of that. And you got to loop, like, 10 times to get it to the same damage as Luna. When you could have just cast Luna twice and been done with the fight. You're sitting there loop-de-looping for 10 turns, 10 casts or whatever, just to get it to the same amount of damage. And then you cast it, and then you got to loop-de-loop it again. Or, not even if you don't, you got to cast it again to, you know? Like with something like Luna, it's like Thrall, Leprechaun, Luna, Thrall, Leprechaun, Luna, fight's over. With something like utilizing the third trait of Lucy, you got to get whatever it is up that's looping, then you got to loop it. So you're loopy, loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-doo, then cast it. Oh, they're still not dead. Now it's the enemy's turn. They take their turn. Oh, I gotta get Lucy back up now, right? So maybe a little bit more loop-de-loop-de-loo, and then cast Lucy. Now they're dead. When you could have just went Thrall, Leprechaun, Luna. Thrall, Leprechaun, Luna. They're all dead, you know? So anytime you're, like, boosting a stat forever, just think about how much time it's taking. Even if it only takes 2 turns or something because you're looping, like, how many buttons did you press and how much literal time did it take? Not how many turns did it take. I summoned Beg with that, yeah. That has been recently. Like, Chad, you're on the right track because recently, like, the third trait has been the way to go. But they're kind of done with those explodey, like the Pharaoh Cafarus and the Takshakas and the Theodoroviches and the Ember Claws. I think they must be done with that. Because that's not what Lucy's doing. It'd be cool if it gave you, I don't know. It'd be cool if it, like, threw a magic gem on the board and blew it up or something. I don't know. Alright, I already went past where I pretty much need to go until I get Freddy, because I only have 1 gap. I'll show you a gap, though, before I get out of here. But, still only have, oh, we got 2 now, so we could run 1. Let's go run it. Let's get some of these vault keys going. You're mostly going to get through gaps. First thing you want to do, another thing you want to do is make sure you know, like while you're hunting verses at least, make sure you know what merchant offers you're going to buy and which ones you're not going to buy. I say this all the time, but it's like we're doing the same event, so I'm giving the same advice. Like, you know which color deeds you're going to buy, for example. Like, if you're are you going to buy the red deed? If you are, then make sure you buy it every single time. And if you're not, make sure you don't buy it every single time. Like, or which one are you doing? Are you doing purple? You kind of have to concentrate on one color at a time because you don't have enough gems to be buying every single deed that you see. And if you do have enough gems to do that, then do it. And then your gem stack will go way down, and then it'll be more like reality. Because if you don't have every single kingdom, on 20, then you should be buying every deed you see. If you have 30 million gems, but you don't have every single kingdom on 20, then you should be buying every deed you see, and that costs lots of gems, and then all your gems should be gone. So that's what I would be doing. If I had 30 million gems, I would buy every single deed offer that I see. Because you need tons of them to get all your kingdoms to 20. So nobody here should really have 50 million gems if you're doing Vault Event properly and seeing enough merchants, because you'll get deed offers and then you'll buy them, and you're going to be going down by chunks. Like this whole Vault Event, you should be spending like 10,000 gems or something. I don't know if 10,000, but at least 5,000. What was I doing? We're going to do, I got to put my team on. That's why I got it copied. We switched to this team for gaps. I just want to make sure it's on before we run the gap. Go to the Soul Forge, and I'll catch up in the chat before I actually run it. Because it's hard to keep up with the chat, even when I'm not doing a gap, but... Vu says, I don't know if anyone had noticed, but Essence of Evil and Archer class together actually get me through Explore 12, 2 minutes per battle, while I don't have any of the fancy stats from Kingdom. Yeah, man, Green Storm and 50% start with the Essence of Evil, that's pretty good. As long as you have something that does some good damage, too. Put on your Queen Beatrix or your Rowan or whatever. Yeah, it's good, Vu. Vu said the idea came from Sinny when he showed me the team that I asked about yesterday to build the dragon I pulled. Yeah. And that dragon's better than the new Mythic. That dragon's better. That's what we were kind of talking about, too. Trey says, I pulled up to the gym. Happy Gnome Genocide, everyone. Sana says, I'm grinding Midnight. Nomex there. So Midnight and Draxum. I really got to keep that in mind. I just, like I said, if it's not broke, I don't fix it. Like, I know Wild Plains and Cinema Mirage always work, and they're right there next to each other. And sometimes Midnight wouldn't work, because sometimes you're going to have, like, maybe Mystics have a 10% buff, you know? And then there's Mystics from Midnight or something. But when... me just knowing that either Cinema Mirage or Wild Plains is always going to work, and they're right next to each other, I don't have to go, like, searching around. If Midnight doesn't work, you kind of have to... well, at least you know. Like, you could go to Cinema Mirage or Wild Plains, but they're just right next to each other, so if it's not broke, I don't fix it kind of deal. My laptop's being stupid. Come on. Quit showing me ads for stuff. Stop it. Alright. Tyrion says Wild Plains tarot card already screwed up Wild Plains. Pan's Veil says Allie. Draxum. Tyrion says on alt I do 2 Caffrey, 1 Greed to level classes with Imperial Jewel. Beg says I installed the game and got it on 200 Glory. Wow. You've won with 0 button presses. Yeah, but like once in a lifetime. That'd be this, like, Ironhawk could win with 0 button presses once in a lifetime. The explosion probably about the same speed or probably a millisecond slower than pushing 1 button. Mr. Downey 4GM says, damn, I had to reload the chat, wouldn't let me in. What's up, sinners? It's Rich. Hey, I thought that was you. Man, I don't know what else to do, dude. I upgraded the internet 6 times faster now. Mark hasn't been crashing. Maybe because Mark's so close to me. Sana says, my daughter's coming over. Have a fun stream. All right, Sana. Tell her we said hi. Thanks for being here. Take care, Sana. Chad says, gonna miss Tacit's live stream tonight. Getting together with my family for dinner. Just letting some people here know. Get an ad blocker. It was like ads for laptops. Probably because I was talking about them. You know how it goes. You talk about anything, you're going to see an ad for it. All right, we're getting ready to go on this Gnomapalooza. All right, one more thing that I always say. Remember to keep track of how long you got left in your Gnomapalooza. That way, if you get a Dragonite Gnome at the end, you can let it live until the Gnomapalooza's over, and you'll get the full drop. We got a limiter on our loot from every gnome because it's just way too crazy, and the devs put a limiter on it. You get like 10% their actual loot drop. It doesn't affect vault keys though. That's the cool thing. So you still get the same amount of vault keys you've always gotten, which is like 20 per gap. You know, 2 epics and like 18 regulars, or like 20 regulars and 2 epics, or something like that. You might get 25 regulars and 2 epics, or 3 epics, somewhere around there. Like, that has no limiter on it. But the normal loot from every gnome, like the souls, the gold, the glory, the dragonite, they all have limiters. They're only 10% of what they normally drop during a Gnomapalooza. So, at the end, if you're using a timer and you know you're on the 14th minute, and there's only 15 minutes in a gap, and you see a dragonite gnome, you could not kill it. You can leave it sit there till the music's over, till your timer goes off, then kill it, and it'll be outside of the gap, and you'll get the full drop. So instead of getting like 3 dragonite, you'll get 30. Instead of getting 8 dragonite, you'll get 80, you know? So something to keep in mind towards the end of your gap if you're still looking for dragonite. Craft a Gnomapalooza? Yes. We'll do it at the 120, and then we know at 135 it's over. So maybe I can show that example. Alright, 135. Just get there as fast as you can and just kill as many gnomes as you can. Preload inputs is another tip. You have a controller. You can hold in the buttons before the fight even starts. And then instead of pressing them, you let them go. And it still works. I feel like I'm the only person that talks about that. I put a whole video out about it. Only certain people watched it, so only certain people know. I wonder if there's anybody else out there actually doing it. Because it's definitely slightly faster. It's like a whole button press less. Because I'm pressing the button now instead of during the fight. So I'm pressing the buttons. That's like a button press I don't have to do here. So me compared to somebody not preloading inputs, I'm doing 1 or 2 less inputs every fight. And sometimes I screw it up. I'm not perfect. Like right there, I screwed it up and I had to press the buttons still. You can kind of tell when I don't screw it up, like you'll barely see Sister Superior pop up on the screen in the middle. See, I effed it up there. You'll get into a groove though, like when you're on Saturday night and you've been doing this for 2 days, like you'll really get into a groove and you'll stop screwing it up. Like you'll get the timing down. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know? Something like that. I screwed it up again. Third Gnome weekend and yeah. Yeah, you should time every gap. You don't have to, but you could just go as fast as you can and kill as many enemies as you can and just, when it's over, it's over. Like, you don't have to. But if you still need Dragonite, you should. You should time them. See how she barely popped up there? I got the preloaded input there. Yeah, they gave us a bonus one for all the crashing after one of the updates. That was pretty good. Allie said, would be awesome if they would make the verse gnomes specific to color element kingdoms. So like hunting Baz, go to red kingdoms. Yeah, that's not how it works right now, but that'd be great. Some people think it, I know you don't, but it's a good teaching tool. Like sometimes you guys say something and then I can, you know, tell everybody, like teach everybody else something. I'm not like thinking that Allie thinks that or anything like that, but you can't like go, if you need like Cindy, you can't just go to a red kingdom and get Cindy. You can't go to you can't just change kingdoms and act like, yeah, that's a confirmation bias. So we got a lot of bias today. Recency bias and confirmation bias. Don't fall victim to either one. If you move kingdoms and you immediately get the thing you need, that's just confirmation bias, because that's not how it works. The only way I've really seen that kind of works is if you're on a hot streak, keep going, and if you're on a cold streak, take a break. That's the only thing that I've seen that kind of works. And even that is not guaranteed to work. So like if you're opening vault keys, for example, like don't do it right now, because that's another tip. There's so many vault tips. I just feel like I say them all the time, so I'm always repeating myself, but there's like a lot of them. I just always say them all every vault, so I'm always repeating myself, and we've had a lot of vaults recently. But yeah, don't do vault keys during the vault event. There's no advantage to doing that. It's pretty much a disadvantage, because you're wasting time that you could be getting more vault keys. Like opening vault keys right now, you don't get anything special. It's not like you're gonna get more anything. It's the same. If I open all my vault keys right now, or I open them all 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna get the same stuff. There's no advantage to opening them right now. You don't get like special extra loot for opening vault keys right now. It's only a bad thing for real, because you're taking time out of your precious vault event where you can get more vault keys. So if you go, let's say you get 50 vault keys, and that took you an hour or something. It took you like maybe an hour and a half or something to get 50 vault keys. Then you go open all of those. That's going to take you like 30 minutes. So now you're missing out on 30 minutes of getting more. Like, you're missing out on, like, 15 more vault keys, at least. So I'm like, I'm figuring in like hunting for verses too, not just running gaps the entire time, because a lot of people can't just run gaps the entire time. Sometimes you gotta hunt verses. You get 20 vault keys a gap, but you can't just run gaps back to back to back to back to back. And if you can, that means you didn't do that some other time. So it's still not like you didn't gain anything. Like a person could say, I can run gaps back to back to back all weekend. But there was a point of time where they didn't do that. They had to farm those gaps. And instead of running them, they were farming them. So it all washes out the same in the end. It's not like you got any more than I got. Vault keys, baby. But yeah, don't open vault keys right now. You'll miss out on more vault keys. And then me, like if let's say one person gets 50 vault keys and then they open them. And then they get 50 vault keys and then they open them. And then they get 50 vault keys and then they open them. And I don't do that. I'm going to end up with, they're going to have 200 vault keys. And I'm going to end up with like 300 vault keys. So you opened all your 200 vault keys, but you missed out on like 100. And now here I am opening 300. And you're not getting anything more. You're just getting less, pretty much. If you open your vault keys during the vault event, you're getting less, not more. It's just a fact. Also, like, don't be playing PvP right now. Most people. There's like the top super duper 1%ers that might be playing PvP. The only thing really worth doing is Underspire, if you're an in-game player. Because Underspire has guaranteed, like, awesome orbs, you know? And those are kind of what you're looking for with your, like, you're getting vault keys to open them. And what are you hoping for? Probably major orbs of glory and minions. You know, maybe gems and stuff, but, you know, part of what you're looking for is the major orbs of glory, like the super rare orbs that are super valuable. But Underspire, you can get them, like, they're there. Like, it's no, like, oh, scratch your lottery ticket. Like, you know what you're getting, so I feel like that's the only thing worth doing. Maybe your dungeon, like, of course, daily. Like, you could do your dungeon real quick, get your Dragonite. If you get a perfect, like, that'd be great. Like, there's a couple things. But you shouldn't be, like, running PvP all weekend. That's a note. You're not supposed to do that during a vault event. You should have your guild event done already. You shouldn't be having to do your guild event. I mean, you know, a lot of people probably are. Because the world event wasn't super easy or anything. But, like, hopefully, in an ideal situation, you're not. Like, I'm not right now. Allie's not right now. Mark's not right now. We're all done. We got it done Thursday. Because that's the ideal situation that you're shooting for, is to not have to do the guild event during a vault event. So you should be doing as much verse hunting and gaps as you can for 3 straight days. And the only times to not do that would be when you're doing your dungeon or when you're doing your Underspire, maybe. And even the Underspire, you can get like a ton of it done. Whoa! Almost dropped a hammer on my foot. I think they're picking up the trash. Dun, 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 dun. My chat crashed right during a gap. Tank Girl? I don't think I've ever seen that. Dun, 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 dun. Refresh chat. So my chat just crashed, just for the record. Alright, let's see if I can preload some inputs here. We got 6 minutes left in this gap. Holding in L1, holding in X. Oh, there's another tip I got for you. If you're on PlayStation, your troop order should be how I have it. Because PC Mobile, you know, they're set up differently. Why am I now loading forever during a gap? That's great. What's going on here? Oh, this is wonderful. This is sweet. There we go. Jeez. Ooh, I got 2 vault keys, though. Make up for it. But yeah, you can't just, like, watch Tacit, you know, and copy his exact order of his team and use it. Like, you're not PC mobile, though. This is like one case where that matters, because we're trying to go as quickly as we can. Like any other time, if he shows you a team in a certain order, it's probably because of mana blocking and like what stuff he wants to get up first, and like this is the order you should have it in to, you know. But during this specific event with this specific team, if you're on controller and you're on PlayStation, it's better to have Dust Devil, Ironhawk, Sister Superior, because of the way that we have to push buttons. You know, the X button is faster to press than any other button, because it's the confirm button. So, and you have to press Sister Superior every single fight. So you might as well have your thumb already on the button, you know what I mean? Like, instead of having to switch buttons every... Like, if you want to, like, whatever. If you want to be slower, put them in a different order. But it's like, every single thing you min-max kind of adds up. If you know which deeds you're going to buy, and you're preloading inputs, and you got your Sister Superior on the right... You know, the right thing, and you're not opening vault keys, and you're not playing PvP, and... You know, you got your team copy-pasted, and you're in Cinemirage or Wild, wherever, you know. If you do everything perfect, that might be why, you know, you used to get 200 vault keys, and now you're getting 300, because you're doing everything you can to min-max, like, how fast you're going. You're not just ignoring certain things. You're doing everything you can. So I don't even know, like, what else I could do at this point to go faster, except for play more. Like, I could play more, that's about it. Like, I'm doing pretty much everything I can to go as fast as I can for the fights that I actually do. Like, I know what I'm going to buy, or not. Like, I'm buying purple deeds, but I'm skipping every other deed. You know, and if I see any offer... Like, this is during burst hunting, by the way. You don't get merchant offers during the gaps, but... You know, I'm not switching to some other random team that's... may be faster, but really not faster, you know? I'm not switching to some other kingdom when I know that this kingdom works, you know? I'm putting them in the order that makes sense for my platform, not just copying some other PC mobile person when I'm a PlayStation person, yeah? Like, copy-pasting my team so it's ready to go, and I'm not hunting around for Ironhawk or Sister Superior. Like, if you do everything, like, it adds up, and it... Like, it does, if you only do one of them, of course it's like if you switch from Greed to Sister Superior, right? It's not going to be that impressive if that's the only thing you do. Like, you're only going to gain, like, a couple extra vault keys, right? Or however many I said earlier. If you do every single thing I say, like, every min-max, like, you'll notice. And I promise you'll come, like, leave a comment. Like, I finally did every single little thing you said to do, and... Man, I got this much more vault keys, you know? And then at that point, once you make that a habit, the only thing that'll get you more vault keys is, like, spending more time. That's where I'm at right now. Like, the only thing I can do is play more. There's no other little min-max I can do to make anything faster. Boo says I'm on mobile. Wonder if I can log in my mobile account on the Steam to play on PC or not. I'm pretty sure, like, PC mobiles, you can do both. When I played on PC, I was able to play on mobile, but I never tried it the other way around. Like, starting on mobile. Mad Magazine? Yeah, those were cool. That was a good one right there. Ooh, I got an epic, too. Be cool if they rewarded you with... by, like, how fast you do the fight. If you do a really super fast fight, they give you an epic vault key. If you do a really fast fight, you get a vault key. And if you do a slow fight, you don't. Too bad that's not how it works, though. Another thing is the pity keys. For every 5 gnomes, you get a vault key sent to your mail. And it goes up from there. That's a very good example of diminishing returns. And I think did I put that video out to everybody yet, or is it a members-only video still? I think I put it out to everybody. I wonder how many views it's got. Probably barely any. It's the type of video that you wish everybody would watch, but they just won't. They want to see Lucy. Lucy's awesome. Oh my god. Stella Rick's wand and leprechaun goes with everything, but Lucy's awesome. It's crazy what people want to see. I wish everybody would watch the diminishing returns video. See it's over now. The music stopped. It's 1:35 on the elapsed time. Like, I didn't pay too much attention. I was busy ranting, but in my situation, I'm better off just like getting as many vault keys as I can because I already have both Dragonite dragons. Like, I already have Stellarix and Diamantina, so I don't really need to be watching my timer as closely as some other people would. If you still need Stellarix, man, make sure you're watching that timer and looking for those Dragonite gnomes. And then, if it's at the end of the fight, let them live until the music's over, then kill them, because you'll get 10 times the Dragonite that you would have got. It's totally worth it. Now, don't be wasting like 4 minutes of your gap, though. Like, there's a line there. You know, if you need Dragonite horribly, terribly bad, you might wait like 2 to 3. You know, I don't even like 3. Maybe 2 minutes. Maybe waste 2 minutes of a gap. But I say more like a minute or less if you see, in those last 6 fights or so, if you see a Dragonite gnome. Those last 10 fights, let's say 10. In your last 10 fights of your gap, if you see if you see a Dragonite gnome, choking on my own spit, then let it live and like kill it after the gap's over. Like the last 10 fights, probably. Which, you know, you do 6 fights a minute, so that's a minute and a half, or less. Or you should be doing 6 fights a minute if you're using Iron Hawk. I think it's 6 a minute. I haven't tested it in a while, but something like that. With my loading, it might be slightly less. Anyway, I think I'm going to catch up in the chat and get out of here. First stream of November. If anybody has any questions, please put it in the chat. I'm done today. I'm done, but you know, it usually takes me 5 minutes to wrap it up. So if you have a question and you want to run to your keyboard, like, type it in. I'll still be here for the next couple minutes. But that's pretty much it for today. We talked about the new Mythic. We showed the Vault event. I'm gonna be doing that, you know, as much as I can today, and then as much, you know, I try to go as far as like how long you should do the Vault event. It's the best time to be playing the game, like of all. There's no other time that's better to be playing the game, like extra and farming extra and playing extra for extra hours. Right now is the best time to do that, this whole weekend. So, you know, if you want to get a bunch of vault keys, you want to play like 5 hours a day pretty much, if you can. So, you know, 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours at night, something like that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you'll get, you know, 500 vault keys or more. You should. I think anyway. I didn't really do the math on it, but that seems about right. But do as much as you can. I mean, I know 5 hours is quite a bit. But if you split it up like a little bit in the morning and like half in the morning, half at night, it's not as bad. But hey, if you can at least do like 3 hours of vault key farming, I don't know, maybe 10. If you can get 10 hours in total at least, you probably get at least, what, like 300 vault keys or something? I don't know. Should be able to. I don't know, if you do it the way I do it, then you get like almost 50 an hour or so. It might take a little bit longer than an hour. So if I do 10 hours, 50 an hour, that's probably not right then. It's gotta be, it's probably like an hour and a half I could get 50 vault keys. It's 20 a gap. So however often you can run a gap. So it depends. You know, and then there's people out there that have 50 million gaps and they run gaps all weekend and they get 1,000 keys. But it's not as impressive as it really sounds, because there was a weekend where they were farming versus the whole time and got barely any vault keys. So you got to add that time to this time. And if they got 1,000 vault keys this weekend, well, there was another weekend where they got 50. So it's really, you got to meet somewhere in the middle there, and they're getting like 500 vault keys, not 1,000. No matter what they say. There's no way you're farming that many verses outside of a vault event. So there was a time where you were farming verses during a vault event and not playing the gaps. So you sacrificed one vault to have a really big vault, which doesn't even matter. Like, why? Who cares? Get your vault keys and open them. You know, make those gems work for you instead of having them sit there doing nothing. Because then you can buy all those offers. Because like I was saying, I haven't said this before, but until today. But if you have a giant stack of gems, like, why are you not buying every deed that you see? You know? You should be buying every deed that you see. Like, I need to start doing that, even. Like, once I get all my factions done and, like, all my classes done, I'm gonna start buying every single deed I see until I run myself down to, like, 10,000 gems or something. Because that part of the game is so hard to accomplish. Like, to get every kingdom on 20 is so hard. You have to pretty much buy every deed you see. So if you're an in-game player with 50,000 gems, my question would be, how many kingdoms do you have on 20? Because are you not buying every single deed you see? Like, if I had 50,000 gems, I would be buying every deed I see. And I'd be seeking them out, too. I'd be, like, playing... I'd be trying to get merchants, you know? I'd definitely be going here every day and to my offers. I'd probably be playing Arena. You know what I mean? Like, why not at that point? Like, people worry too much about pets and crap and stuff that doesn't matter when you could be leveling your kingdoms. You could be leveling your kingdoms. That's way better than pets. You know? Like, buy every deed you see if you have 50,000 gems. Or 100,000 gems. Or 30,000 gems. Buy every deed you see. You know? To a point. Like, don't run yourself under 10,000 gems or something. But... because you're going to need deeds forever. That's like buying toilet paper. You know? You can never buy enough toilet paper because you're always going to need it. Alright? So, same thing with deeds. You can never buy too many deeds. Buying deeds is always a good investment. If you have the gems. Like, don't, as a beginner, you're not going to buy every single deed you see because you don't have enough gems to do that. But if you have 100,000 gems or 50,000 gems, what else are you going to do with them? Buy every single deed you see. You know? That's what I'm going to start doing eventually. I just got to, like, Nightweaver to 100. Once I get Nightweaver to 100, and I get, like, Indridge's Palace done, and Lazara's Lair done. Because I'm waiting, like, maybe like, Dark Court too. I guess I have 3. Because I'm waiting, like, what if Indridge's Palace pops up as a faction event, and I feel like investing a bunch of gems into it or something. Or Dark Court. Or Lazara's Lair or something. I feel like investing a ton of gems into it and just smoking through it. Or if a Nightweaver class event pops up and I want to invest a ton of gems into that and, like, get it all the way done. Or I see a Nightweaver offer or something I want to spend gems on or something. Like, once I get those, every delve to 500 or 2,500 and every class to 100, there's, like, almost nothing else to spend gems on except for guild events. Yeah, or maybe, like, torches, but those are already figured in for me. Like, I buy torches every day anyway. Those are kind of already figured in, but I'm going to start buying every single deed I see because nobody in the game has, like, every kingdom at 20. I feel accomplished having one of each color to 20, you know? I got purple. I almost have 2 purples. This is so close, too. Like, I need a couple deeds. That's it. Or I have 9 books. I only need 10. I have 22 deeds. Like, I probably get it this weekend. I'll have my second Magic Kingdom on 20 this weekend, I bet you. Because I'll at least be able to buy a couple offers. Like, I'll have purple pop up a couple times, I'm sure. I wonder if I have PvP. If I could buy books. Probably not. I don't play enough PvP. That's my weakness right now. I need to play way more PvP. But not right now, of course. But, like, when it's not a Vault event weekend, I need to start doing PvP way more. I don't know why. It's just not my thing. It's because Immortals are so weak and, like, the ultimate goal... But then again, the other ultimate goal is books. And I should be excited about books. I'm just not excited about Immortals, really. I can buy 1. If it's purple, we get to do a purple kingdom. We got a 1 in 6 chance of getting my second purple kingdom to 20. And remember, like, who cares what you get here? You need the same thing I was just talking about. You need every single book. Even if I get this purple book, and then I get that 1 to 20, I still need purple books after that. Because there's still more purple kingdoms. You know? It's not the next one I'm going to do, but it's still nice to get them because you're going to need them forever. Nobody has every kingdom on 20, so nobody doesn't need deeds. And nobody doesn't need books. So, your gold mark should go to books because it's the smartest thing to do. And then if you have a billion gems, they should all go to deeds because it's the smartest thing to do. You shouldn't just stack them up to the moon. Like, I've been stacking mine, kind of. But, I'm almost to the point where I'm going to just start buying every deed I see. Alright, purple, please. Oh! On video! Let's go! Second Magic Kingdom. I love it because it's just like... Anyway, you know what I'm going to say. It always sounds crazy. Let's go! And if Imperial Deeds is stopping you, I'm sorry that you did all Kingdoms to 16. Because I didn't. Boom, baby! Woo! Another magic. I'm now stronger across the board. Hell yeah. Alright, check it out. We got Karakoth on 20. Darkstone on 20. That's the 2 Magic Kingdom. Or 3, actually. I got Zalkari on 20, but that's a green. So I got Karakoth, Zalkari, Darkstone, Drifting Sands. See that 20? I got Pride Lands. I got Sword's Edge. And then I got Whitehelm. So I got 7 kingdoms on 20. I don't even know. Does anybody else have more than 7? Like a streamer? Maybe Tacit has 7. If he has 7, I bet you he doesn't have 8 though. He might though. He's like the only one I would think. Maybe Tacit does, but I wonder if anybody else has 7 kingdoms on 20. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 kingdoms on 20. It's like one of the hardest things to do in the game. If you were gonna see, like, if you're gonna compare people's accounts, and you wanted to, you know, and this would be one of the things you would look at, like how many kingdoms are on 20, and are they the right ones? You know, did you do Magic? Did you do Darkstone and Karakoth and Zalkari? Because that'd be the first 3 you should do. Or no, not the first 3, but they should be 3 of the 7 at least. But you do 1 of each color, and then you spin the block on purple. That's what I did. So I pretty much have 1 of each color. We got purple, we got green. I think this one's yellow or brown or something. I don't know. I can never remember. This one's blue or something. This one must be the yellow, and the other one must be brown. You know, I got 1 of each color, basically. Pride Lands is red. Did Pride Lands a million years ago. That was cool, though. That's an accomplishment. That feels good. That's like getting Zul'Goth or something. That's like getting Stellarix. That's how it feels to me right now, because I got another Magic Kingdom to 20. That's like the coolest thing you can do as an in-game player. You know, that already has Stellarix and Zul'Goth, and, you know, you already did all those things, and those feel really good too, but the only thing I got now is, like, getting a Magic Kingdom to 20 that feels as good as, like, a Stellarix or Zul'Goth feeling. So that feels good, man. That was awesome. Alright. I think that's it. That's a good place to end. Mark says, download it on PC. They type in your email and password. It's that easy. Yeah! Get it, Vu? I feel like I'd rather play on my laptop if I'm at home, and then, of course, you use your phone when you're on the run. Roxy, you waited 14 minutes? Jeez Louise. I would definitely not advise doing that, but you must have wanted that Dragonite bad. You missed out on, like, 20 Vault Keys for it. Professor says I'm about 400 Dragonite away from the last weapon, Decaying Orbit. Nice! Good job, Professor. Yoke says I have 4 out of 6 dragons for Diamantina. Should I just wait for them to come up and buy them for 2k? I think that's the smart thing to do. That's a very hard question to answer. You know, would you rather, like, keep risking it, opening 500 at a time and, like, getting the same dragon over and over and over? It depends, like, how your luck is, too. Like, maybe you try one more egg, you know? Depends how it's been going for you. Like, did you get those 4 out of 6 dragons and it took you 15 eggs to get the 4? Or did it take you 4? If it only took you 4 openings to get those 4 dragons, then maybe you should try for the 5th, you know? Probably depends per person. When it's 4 out of 6, it really depends per person, like how lucky you got or how unlucky you got. So I can't really tell you how to feel. But once you have 5 out of 6, you should definitely wait. 4 out of 6, you should almost definitely wait, but it depends. Did you get 4 by opening 4, you know, then you might as well try for the 5th because you're having such good luck. But if you don't get it, you get a repeat, then yeah, probably wait till they come through the Soul Forge. You should always go after the Cosmic Dragons first. You should always open eggs until you get at least 4, you know. And then that's when you wait for the guaranteed thing in the Soul Forge. Because you don't want to, like, keep opening them and, like, keep getting duplicates. It's better to sit there and wait for the one to pop up that you need. Even though it costs more, in the end it probably doesn't. Because you're going to sit there and get 4 or 5 duplicates. It's going to end up costing you more and more time and everything. So it's better to just wait, especially when you just need 1. Like, why not just wait for it instead of opening and hoping with a 1 out of 6 chance? But 4 out of 6 is always hard to tell people. Like, you gotta just, it's like whatever, however, how lucky have you been or how unlucky have you been? That should determine whether or not you wait or not. Because if a person got 4 dragons with 4 eggs, I would probably tell them to, like, press their luck and go for the 5th. But if it took them 10 or 15 eggs to get those 4 dragons, and they got a bunch of duplicates already, I would say, you might as well go and wait, because you obviously don't have very good luck. But always do Cosmics first, which is Stellarix, that's like the Lunas and the whatever. And then always, you know, always wait on that last one till they pop up in the Soul Forge. Unless you're just crazy, like you got 5 in a row with just 5 opens, then maybe you do try for the 6th one. But I can't tell you how to feel basically on that. But I think it's smart to wait for the 2001 when you only need 1 or 2. Yeah, like Roxy said. Mark says I have 11,000 Dragonite. I am ready for the Flower Dragons to come out. Right? Yeah, I wonder how much I have. I probably have like 6. That's probably like half of what you got. Yeah, 6,678. Because I'm not buying any. I'm not buying any Dragonite. I'm not buying. That's all from getting perfects, and that's all from VOD events. Like I don't buy any Dragonite anywhere, especially after I got Stellar. That's all 6,678 of that Dragonite is unpurchased. Like I got it all for free. Because that's post-Stellarix Dragonite. Like pre-Stellarix I was buying some because, you know, you make that final push. I already got all 6 dragons, but I'm trying to get the weapons. I'm trying to get that last 1,000 for Stellarix. I was buying it in the dungeon, but I never bought it in PvP no matter what. And I haven't bought any since I got Stellarix because I'm just getting the free. Now that maybe there's some coming out, like I don't really care. I'm not like the type of guy that needs to get, oh, there's Flower Dragons coming, so I need to buy a bunch of Dragonite so I can then get them all immediately. Like I'm always cool with waiting and being patient and like not blowing gems on stuff, you know, just to get something first or show it first. Or that's why I don't get the legendary. I play the game the way I would want you to play it, you know, most of the time. I try to be a good example of like how I would want you guys to play. So like with the holiday event, I'm not like rushing to get the legendary so I can put out a video and show the legendary. You know what I mean? I'm going to get the pet first like I tell you guys to do. I'm going to get the golden pet and then I'll get the legendary. Like I try to be a good example. So I'm not going to sit here and buy Dragonite just so I can get all the dragons and like get the next special dragon to show it first. Like I'm going to be a good example and not buy it and just get free Dragonite and then, you know, whatever happens, happens when the new dragons come out. I doubt any of them are going to be better. How can anything be better than Stellarix anyway? Like it's almost impossible. It's like Ironhawk right now. People are going to hope something's better and they're going to have recency bias and act like something's better, but it's still not true for real. Ironhawk's still the best. Stellarix is probably going to be the... Yeah. How can something be better than Stellarix? It would have to be insane. Insane, crazy nuts, and like the game might as well be over. Like why even play anymore if we can just push one button and win all the time everywhere? And it's how's it get even easier than that? We're already doing that. We're already pushing one button and winning everywhere. If you have Ironhawk and you have Stellarix, like it pretty much boils down to we're pushing one button and winning everywhere. Does it not? We're playing right now with Ironhawk. We're pushing one button and winning every single fight by pushing one button. If you got Stellarix, you're pretty much pushing one button and winning every single fight. How can it get, like, what's better than that? Like, how can it get more crazy than we're like sitting here drinking out of a tube, sitting in a chair, You know what I mean? Like, how can we get any faster or any... how can we do any less? How can we do any less but still have so much to do? You know what I mean? We push one button, but we got to push one button quite a few times every day. We don't have to think very much, but we have to push that one button 20 million times a day. It's pretty crazy. It's like the little mouse running and pushing a button to get cheese. We're just sitting here pushing that cheese button all day. And then everybody else that don't have them are just like trying to get the cheese button. They cheese the game with the cheese button. We're all mice pushing a cheese button, you know? We're cheesing the game with one button press, but we're pushing it so much every day. We want that cheese. We're cheesing it so hard every day. It's crazy. If you really think about it for real, right? We're pushing one button with Ironhawk, and we're pretty much pushing one button with Stellarix, right? To do everything in the entire game. We're just pushing the cheese button all day. And all they're doing is making us, like, push it more times. Like, you push the cheese button. Instead of pushing it 100 times, we're going to make you push it 200 times. Go get these immortals that really aren't better than anything in the game. Go get these flower dragons that really aren't better than anything in the game. Go get every single pet that, who cares for real. Push this cheese button over and over and over and over and over. Come get your cheese. Cheese, 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 cheese. All day, every day. Putting stuff in we don't really need, but we think we need it. So we're pushing the cheese button, the Ironhawk or the Stellarix button all day, every day. Or the Tesla button or whatever button you're pushing to win a fight in one button press. Like, that's what we're doing every day, all day. That's what it boils down to. Pushing the cheese button all day, every day. To get the cheese. We're like they're the scientists and we're the mouse in the cage that's pressing the cheese button all day. Just think about it, you know? What are you doing? You're pushing one button and winning. All day, every day. 1,000,000 times a day. Classic says, good morning. I'm... You're Vegas? You're Vegas? Are you Vega from, Street Fighter? Is he in Street Fighter? Vega? The guy with the claws? But anyway, I'm out of here. You can find the way to play on Steam. I'd stick to Steam account. You can't? I went to Steam, I downloaded Gems of War, and then, you know, I think I did it the other way around, though. I did Steam, and then I did my phone. You have to, like, tie your account together with an email or something like that. Somebody could probably, are you on the Discord, Vu? If you're not on the Discord, somebody could probably help you there. Because it's definitely possible. You can definitely play PC mobile. I'm pretty sure, is there some, like, mobile that can't be, is there, like, Android or... Is there one that can't be tied to Steam? Not sure. It's a type of question for somebody else, not me. If you have a Gems like an in the game question, that's me, but as far as like outside of the game stuff, I'm not the greatest. Yeah, maybe somebody can run you through it on Discord then. But I'm out of here. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for being here. Mark, Vu, Juan, Roxy, Chad, Classic. We got Roxy. We got Yoke the Ham. We got the Professor. We got Roxy. We got Vu. We got Allie. Go get them vault keys, y'all. It's the most important thing. More important than anything else. And if you got a bunch of gems, buy those deeds, man. While you're hunting verses, when you see those merchants pop up, you might as well buy them, because it's a good investment that can't go wrong. Just don't run yourself out of gems. Don't say, Sinnycool told me to buy every deed, and now I have 0 gems. Don't do that. We got Yoke, we got Mark. Set a budget, right? Never go under a certain amount. That's what I do. I'm never going to go back under, like, 5,000 gems for the rest of my life of Gems of War. We got Sana, we got Rich Kaufman. We got Tyrion, we got Beg for Mercy. We got some OGs in here. I talked about some OGs that aren't here anymore, but we got some OGs in here still. Like Trey. Like Tyrion. Like Chad. Beg for Mercy. Yeah? Alright, I can't go all the way back. The final message I see is, I straddle the toilet backwards when I treasure hunt. Allie. Alright, y'all. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I know you could be anywhere else. And I do appreciate it. I say appreciate a lot because that's how I feel. But yeah, You guys are the best. Have a good day. Get those vault keys. Don't eat too much candy. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, for the spoilers and more vault event. Yeah, get a ton of keys. Peace out.